Hi fans, it's Tutorial Tuesday. I'm Andrea and I am here with a cute little quick tutorial. Before I get started, if you are over on our Journals for Life Facebook fan page, you know that Megan from Homemade Kindness, one of our creative team members, sews little pockets all the time with vellum and different things. And you see this vellum piece with the star sequins from the Masterpiece May embellishment kit. I have adored this for so many months, and I'm super inspired by what she does and how she sews. So I thought I would attempt it. So Megan, I hope I do this justice. So this is what I did to scrap lift Megan. I grabbed this piece of cardstock. I think I got it from my local scrapbook store, a Small Cleverness Donna, and it's an American Crafts. It's some type of vellum with foiling. It's the best thing that I had on hand. I don't have any vellum. So I grabbed this 8.5 by 11. Will surely fit well in my book. So what I plan to do is I'm going to cut it, since the books are 8.25 tall, I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch off. And then the books, they're a little over 4.25. I think they're 4.375, a little bit. It's like the standard wide. So I'm going to probably stop around 4 inches, but then I'm also going to make a little flap here. I'm going to score it, and that way I can tuck it into my book. And that may make sense in a second. So that's my plan. We'll see if that works out. Then I'll fill it with some of these, with these stars and maybe some other glitter or some other shaker things in the middle, and then put a couple die cuts from the Masterpiece kit on the front. So that's my plan. So first I'm going to cut this down and then I'll come back. Okay, so I cut it down. So here are the measurements. I cut this to 8.25, so it'll be as tall as the travel notebook. And then I wanted to do 4 inches, and then we fold it over, right? So I need another 4 inches for the other side so I can sew it shut. And then I need 2.5 inches because when I close it, I'm going to score it and leave a flap to tuck in. And I'll show you how to do that. So first, I'm going to, I wonder if that silver is too distracting. Maybe I should I put it on the inside? Kind of lessen it a little bit. I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to go for the silver foil on the outside. So just going to kind of flatten it out. So this should be 4.5 inches. So I want it to be 4 inches wide. So I'm going to score it right at the 4-inch mark and make a nice line here. So got my scoreboard. All right, so 4 inches here. So I'm going to score that. Okay, then I'm going to flip it over and make sure I get this side too, just to make sure I have a nice score line. Oops. Not sure if I got that. Did I? I think so. Okay. And if you don't have a scoring sheet board, you may be able to measure 4 out and then maybe use a ruler and then try to bend it in. I just prefer to use a scoreboard because I'm real messy. All right, so to me, in my mind, I think that's going to work out. So what'll happen is I'll go and sew around the edges. Let's look and see what Megan did. So see how she sewed around the edges to keep the things in. So I'll do that, but I made mine. It looks like she may have sewed that like directly to a page. Now that I'm looking at it, that might be a page. Oh, that's a cute idea. I didn't even think about that. Mine's going to be a standalone shaker page, but it looks like She sewed it to the page. So cute. Megan, you need to tell us how you did that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to sew around it. I'll leave the top open so I can put the things in. And then I'm going to use this flap to glue it onto a page. And then I'm going to use a 4x8 piece of paper to cover it up in my book. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So let me go put a little sew line on this thing and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So here we go. So you know when you normally sew items, and I don't have a ton of sewing experience, you kind of leave a small opening and you stuff it and, you know, then you hand sew it back. I just leave it undone all the way across the top because if I had to go back and line up that stitch, I probably wouldn't do it right. So I'm going to put the things in and then I'm going to go back and stitch straight across here. So let's see. I want to see how I might put it in the book. So here's what I'm thinking. So I'll tape it right here. So you see how I use that flap to open and close it. And you'll see the same pattern paper. I haven't done that one yet. So do that. And then I thought this black would be nice. This was the add-on papers, or if you bought the kit, it came in the kit. And so look how nice that looks. And so then it hides the little flap and it sticks it down, and then this opens and closes. So definitely going to do that. So let me go ahead and put the items in. I'm actually going to bend it the opposite way. So the opening, there we go. So the opening's at the top. Actually, I like the other side better. Yep, it looks neater than the back side. Okay, changed my mind. Changed my mind. All right. So that means that I'm going to have to put the things in there because it's going to look like this. Then I'm going to have to go sew it closed before I decorate it with my cardstock. So let's put in our things. So there you go. You can do it like this. I accidentally dropped all of my stars out of the package, so now they're all loose here, and you're going to watch me struggle just a little bit gathering them all up and trying to get them into this thing. But if I were you, I would just take the pack and I would pour it straight in there, just instead of struggling like I am here. Here we go. All right, and then in a second, I'm going to look for some maybe glitter or a couple other things. Actually, that might be a little too many. Let's take a couple out. Okay, I like that. So you can see the stars in here. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to go look for a couple candidates of glitter. All right, I have this left over. I did something mermaidy with it. I can't remember. It's from a couple years ago, and I got it at Target. But I like that it's big, jumbo, chunky glitter. Let's see. Wish I had something yellow. That would be cute too. But be that as it may. Yeah. Oops. So there we go. All right, so I'll bring in the yellow with this. So I'm going to go sew the top and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. And on my way to sew it closed, I checked my sequin stash. Sometimes I forget about it, and I had a few little yellow ones in there. So I stuck the yellow ones in there. So now I'll have the stars and some yellow ones and that green mermaid. And then I stuck some of these little bitty blue sequins I had as well. So now I've got this cute shaker pocket to go in my book. All right, so let's put the thing in. And I want this nicer edge to be what you see first. This will be in the back. So I'm going to put some glue on this edge, and you have to be really careful. I usually bend it like this and kind of like line it up here because you want your book to be able to close, and you want to be able to move it around and open and close it. And it's really annoying if you don't get it lined up right. So that's kind of how I line it up, like that. All right, and so that's what the flap is for. Now that makes sense, I'm sure. So I like to cover it. So this is really light. So if you do it this way, I mean, that doesn't really look bad. You could probably put a line of washi over it or leave it as is because it's decorative. But to reinforce it a lot of times, I usually just put a piece of paper over it just to kind of make it look a little bit finished and to also just give it a little bit more strength, I suppose, because you know that people like to play with interactive things and shake them and stuff, so I just want to make sure that it's in there really well. And so I usually line it up like this, kind of stick it, and then I come and line it up here, and then I do that just like that. Okay, let me kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see. So then that's what it looks like. So I've got my little shaker pocket. So that came out nice. So I'm liking that. So the last thing I want to do is kind of see where I can work some of these things in. It's what I picked. Also these cute little butterflies. I thought that they could like fly, you know, maybe like that. I thought this pink star would match really well. And then I pulled some yellow and green. So, all right, let's see. All right, so I'm thinking the middle, but I'm just not sure. I'm probably just going to play with it for a little bit. I kind of like that. It says fun times here. Kind of like this find joy in the ordinary. All right, so I think I'm going to go with this yellow circle for sure. I know I like that. And I do like find joy in the ordinary. I think I'm going to put the star and these two little green butterflies. I think that's just going to round everything out and make me happy. I think that other butterfly might be just a little too much to work in. Okay, and then oops, that's really good. All right, and then maybe right here. Oops, wow, that's going to dry nice and clear. There we go. So, all right, so I like that. And then maybe still desperately want to get that butterfly on there. I just don't think it's going to work. Oh, well, maybe that. Ooh. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. So, found a way to get it on there. Oops. I like it. All right, so there you go. Then I can decorate the back too, and it's kind of like really fun shaker pocket. All right, fans, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks, Megan, for the inspiration, and I'll see you next week for Tutorial Tuesday.